Welcome back to set building. I'm Rosiel, and last time we left off, I had just finished up the bedrooms and the bathrooms. Now all we need is a ceiling, and a roof, and windows, and like the rest of the main room. I'm not quite sure how I want to lay this out though. However, I am going to start by grabbing a chest so I can empty my inventory of only the base build items. Ooh, okay. So in goes everything that isn't being used in every single house, guaranteed. So I need glass, I don't need the bookshelves, I don't need the desk, I don't need the beds or blankets, I don't need the bathroom stuff. Alright, I think that leaves us with everything that we're going to use in the actual build itself. So I got glowstone, oak, and then the rest are more outdoor stuff. So I am going to start by finishing up the floor in here. So, as I said in the last episode, I think I intend to use this world and I'm going to eventually turn it into like a proper RP type series, like what I'm clearly inspired by most of my work. And it's been really fun because like it isn't my only inspiration. There's like other things in mind when thinking about making a series like that, but I've already started making like little snippets and samples, and I think during my free time I intend on like just writing the first episode, for lack of better words, but I also want to make sure I have safe script samples for auditioning when I decide to eventually open up to auditions for people to voice the other characters. I'm not quite sure how I intend to go about it. At least not yet. But I guess I kind of gotta start with finishing off the world itself. Alright. Now, the inspiration of doing the glowstone light in the center is inspired, I think, by I want to say Lord of the Rings, where it's basically like one of the producers or directors or someone said it's probably better, it's something like it's better to have a nonsensical light than not be able to see anything. And I mean, agreed. So, that's what I'm doing. I think I'm going to make this the village lord's house. And I think I already have a name for what this village is going to be. So, pre-episode 1, out far this way, somewhere, there's a little hole, and buried in that hole is a waystone. And that waystone will allow me to teleport between here and everywhere else for mostly convenience sake. It's somewhere around here. I'll figure it out eventually. Regardless, it exists. And I guess it's gonna be a trust me bro situation. I think for this show, I'm going to do terraforming and stuff Sorry about that. I think I'm gonna do terraforming and such off screen. And I'm gonna do like proper building on screen because, at least in my opinion, terraforming is incredibly boring. Right, windows. The best thing about this entire series as a whole is it gives me a place to ramble openly, because at least at this point it's not like there's a bunch of people watching me. So just running my voice, enjoying my life, it works out pretty well here. Now inevitably in like 2 to 3 years I'm going to look back on this video and be like, God, it wasn't that bad to get X or do Y or just stop with Z. But what you gonna do? It exists now, and I am happy with the current results. However, I think I might have to move the door. I'm gonna move the door over one. And keep the nice feng shui, I guess, for lack of better words. I am not good at, like, decorating. But, like, I know that your feet aren't supposed to be pointing toward the door, which is why the door's slightly off of the bed. Ooh, I remember why I had this open last episode. So that way it was off-center with the whole window and not just off-center with part of the window when it's only... Oh, yeah, that looks better, though. Anyways, I think I know what door I want to use. I just think that this door is probably going to look really nice considering, you know, the dark oak, everything else. I want to build a living room, but I'm not quite sure how. I think moving this over. And then I think I'm going to move the door back. Because I have an idea in mind. I just don't know how well. I think what I might do, I'm going to move this door this way. And have this be a little bit bigger. Do mini living room space right here. Bathroom. 2 bedrooms. Alright, I think that's quite close to what I want. Alright, we're gonna build the support beam. And then 4x4, right? Yeah, 4. So I want to do this, and that means that center crossroad square is where we're going to put the glowstone. I think I'm going to, just because of how big this space is, I'm going to make it a little bigger. And the nice thing about the glowstone is that it is so, like, it's very wood texture, which makes it match a lot better. Alright, we're going to go ahead and fill in the ceiling in here. So like I said, I think this is going to be the Lord's house, and despite the inspiration for, like, the series I have in mind, I don't think the Lord is going to be played by me. I think I want it to be someone else. That way I don't have to go too deep into the politics of the world, or at least not at first. And I can just spend, like, the first handful of episodes avoiding world politics in a show like this, where, like, you know, the politics of the world are a little bit important because of its implication to world building. So the other thing to keep in mind with this entire series, I don't intend on having anyone help me with the building aspect of this. So everything that's done is done by me, even if it's off camera. I think there's some other stuff I think I'm going to do off camera. Like, I like the idea of adding in either a mod or a texture pack that makes this glass all smoothed out so it doesn't have these lines in the center. And then making, like, stained glass. It might not be for this house. I think that might be a little too showy and naughty. At least for, like, this little village. So, I think that's not quite done yet. I forgot to do the bedroom. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get like a mod or a texture pack that kind of just brings all the glass into like a single textured pane, and use that as like my... Hold on, I should adjust my mic just a tiny bit. That's better. Hold on. Perfect. I just don't want it to be like too loud or too like poppy or something. You can tell I'm not a professional. Oh, everything about me screams unprofessional. Anyways. However, it does remind me that I should probably also design the family that's going to eventually live here. I think they're just going to be a happy little family that welcomes the main character to the village and treats her like any other villager. I think that's what's probably going to work best. Ooh, that's not centered. Oh, that's going to bother me now that I know. Like, realistically, had I not checked, I would have been okay. Oh, no. Realistically, if I hadn't have checked, I would have never noticed. But now that I did, it was going to bother me. Alright. So that means that's all done. Okay, let's switch to furnishing. Let's do the crayfish. The crayfish has a really nice couch. And I think I'm going to pair it with this stool. And have this all go right here. And I don't like how it blends with the wall. That's not cool. I don't like that. That's weird. Alright. I think that's good. And then because I moved over the door, it makes the space feel a little less cramped. I think I'm going to move it over more. Make this couch a little bit bigger. That's perfect. I think when I eventually make the like house that ends up being Rosiel's, I think I'm gonna have like a secondary world where the house is like her dream house, and then this world it's gonna start as like a dinky little shack that she finds that's like semi-abandoned, covered in vines and whatever like filler stuff I can find. Alright, I'm gonna use the Paladin mod because they have this really nice cherry wood chair, and it works out because there is a cherry biome like right next door. Hold on, do I want to use... I'm gonna use the classic instead because the dark outline of like the cherry wood is so pretty. I love it. I think it looks good. Anyways, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get these counters. I'm going to put this one in the middle and make a little work bar. Or I think that's what it's called, like a something. And then I'm going to grab a dining table. Hold on. Apparently, I can't spell to save my life. Do I want to do the modern? I guess there only really is the modern. I think I'm going to do the cherry as well. Or, nah, I'm going to contrast it with the dark. Ooh, that did not look good though. Alright, and then I'm going to do two here, and then it looks like I have like two little chairs just sitting off onto the side. That makes those things look like nice and kind of filled in. And then, ooh, wait a second, because I don't need those extras. However, I probably should have saved that table. Hold on. Just have this put up for later. Let's do an armor stand with, let's see. Ooh, that is a good thing to know about. I didn't realize how much like extra armor was added by that mod. I knew about the dragon armor, but I didn't realize like all the the Twilight and regular armor. That is interesting. That looks so good. Let's do... Oh, what do I want to do? Maybe a diamond chest and diamond legs. Or maybe instead a netherite chest, diamond legs, and diamond boots, but no helmet. And it can go right here in the center with that, and that. It's not awful. Let's see what shows up when I pull. Ooh, these are nice. I think the iron. Is there? I genuinely don't know how. I might have to add a mod that allows me to display. Alright. Can I make you hold something? Let's instead just do some item spraying. And do a diamond longsword, and then maybe like this. Oh god. These are... I haven't gotten a chance to look at all of them. Oh, wow. Sorry, that was my watch. If you could hear that, that was my watch scraping up against the... Ooh, wait. What about the dagger? Like, one of them knows how to use daggers, and one of them uses, like, regular swords. Let's do a silver dagger and contrast that with, like, the diamond sword, and have this be, like, the family, like, pride or something. I don't know. However, I don't want that bit, but I do want the glowstone, because as I said before, like, the invisible light is perfect. Because there doesn't need to be an explanation for the lights. There just needs to be. You gotta be able to see. However, I think what might look good is putting a light in every corner because of how big this room is. Like, it's a miracle that the light's working at all. Ooh. Yep. And then there's lights in all the other rooms, right? Yep. Okay. And then there's the light there. And that's the base of the house done. Now I just need to figure out how I want to do the roof. Apparently the base of the house is not complete. Hold up. And then we'll get rid of that armor stand. At least for now. So this where I put the... Maybe? No. It's somewhere. Or at least I think it is. It might not be. It might be something different that I'm remembering. Alright. What if I use... Alright, let's do oak wood. And then... Ooh, what if I shouldn't have gotten rid of that. Stripped oak wood. It'll look a little bit smoother, and use the oak planks for the filler. And do... Hold on, let's see what I can come up with. Just kind of just winging it. How about... Alright, I need to look into the frames mod and see if there's like a corner chair. Alright, hold on. Is that it? No. Oh, it's because you can use more than one wood type here. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's see. What can I use? They have ones turn on the side. No. Because I wanted to go all the way through. Hold on. Rain. Stair. Alright, so it's going to require me to put in the whole thing. I don't know what to do. The wall, double frame slopes. Come on. Let's see what this looks like. No. So we want framed. I might just do this off camera and see what I can come up with. That's not what I wanted to do though. Nope. Yeah, I might just have to wing this. So I think I'm just gonna cut this early. It's only been about 22 minutes, but I do need to do all the processing as well as making the thumbnail, which all needs to be done tonight because this thing gets uploaded in about 13 hours from what I'm currently recording. So I think that means it is time to call it quits. Let me clear this weather up. That was a failure if I've ever seen one. Alright. Well, we got most of the house done. I think I'm going to work on the roof a bit more off camera. I apologize. I might do some terraforming as well. However, I won't do any major building or decorating until you guys get back. It was really fun spending some time with you guys today. Until next time, bye!